What quote hangs on your wall? Welcome to Goal Getting Quote of the Day. I'm Tony Woodall, your host, and I will share with you a great quote I've heard, read, or that's been shared by one of my guests on Goal Getting Podcast weekly show, where I ask, what quote hangs on your wall? Thanks for listening, folks, and I really appreciate it. Hello, goal getters, and welcome back to the show. I am so excited for you to be here today. I have a great quote on Goal Getting Quote of the Day. This is your host, as you heard earlier, Tony Woodall, and I am so glad you are here. I'm excited to be back talking with you today, and today is a great day to talk about success and failure. Today's quote is from Adam Alexander. Adam and I work together, and he had this quote on our social intranet site that we have, and I just thought this was a great quote, so I wanted to share it with you. Adam's quote is, "Success is achieved when you are ignorant of the fact that failure is an option." Listen, failure is a 4-letter word. Okay, well, it should be. It's one of those words that our parents should say, shh, don't talk like that. That's a bad word. We shouldn't worry about failure. It should be one of those words that we never have to learn. Unfortunately, folks, it is out there. The problem is that too many people put too much emphasis on it. Yes, failure can happen. I have had failure in my life. I've had failure. I've lived through it and I've come through it. But the key to this quote is to understand that if you don't know what fear is, you likely won't start thinking those negative thoughts that fear brings about. Fear can debilitate even the most positive person. When you have fiercely moved with the intent to be successful and you don't let the thoughts of what would happen if or am I sure about and other success dampening thoughts in your mind, then you can move forward to success easily. My key and the thought here that I think that Adam was talking about, because he was saying that when he feels down or isn't quite on target, he starts remembering this quote, because you just have to forget about failure. You have to forget about what's going to happen. You can't let that get into your brain. You just have to do what your goal is. You have to fight for it. You have to keep going out there and doing it. You can't let fear or that word failure come and bother you. Now, that's not to say that you won't fail. Sometimes you do fail. Like as I said, I've failed. I was a loan officer when the mortgage industry crashed, and I lost everything. I mean, it just went too long, couldn't find a job. I tried to get out of it, but it lost everything, and it was really painful for me. So I didn't let it bother me, though. People say, well, what'd you do? Well, I got a part-time job working in a bakery as a customer service clerk. I didn't want to be there. I had to be there to make the money to pay some bills. Without that, it would have been tough. What I did is I continued working. I decided I didn't want to stay as a customer service rep for the bakery, handing out bakery items, but I treated that as a learning process to figure out how I can do better. I eventually worked my way up from the bakery into the bakery manager position and learned how to bake and all kind of things and became the bakery manager for a store in the area. But that's not what I wanted to do. But I didn't let it bother me. I didn't let that failure get to me. I didn't just feel depressed and not do anything. I strived, even as a bakery clerk, to be something better, to grow. So I kept going. So you can't let that failure get to you. You have to keep building and keep believing in your success and believing in your abilities. And that's one of the things that this quote that Adam shared is very important. You can't think about failure. You can't, if you are ignorant to the fact that failure is an option, then it's not going to stop you. It's not going to slow you down. You just can't let it be part of you. And, our parents, and if you're a parent, you need to stress this with your children. You need to make sure that they understand failure is not an option. And if it does happen, don't worry about it. But, there's that worrying about it too much that is the problem. Not letting things go or not letting yourself do the things that you need to do. That's the problem. Just forget about failure. Forget about that the word even exists. Do what you want to do. Do what your goal is. Do what you want to achieve and become that person that you want to become. Adam's quote, "Success is achieved when you are ignorant of the fact that failure is an option." So go out today. Forget about failure. Go out today and succeed. This is Tony Woodall, your host with Goal Getting Quote of the Day and Goal Getting Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today, folks. I really do appreciate you being here. It means a lot for me to have you as a listener on the show. I would love to hear your feedback. I want to know what you think about our show. I want you to tell me how I can make it better for you. I want to know how I can help you get the goals that you set. That's our whole premise here at Goal Getting Podcast. Our goal is to help you get the goals you set. So come back and see us next week. If you like our show, make sure that you tell your family, tell your friends that you listen to us. GoalGettingPodcast.com/iTunes. You can go to iTunes and listen. Tell them to go there, subscribe to the show, and listen to us. We do our Goal Getting Quote of the Day. We are on a winter break, and we will be back full time February 25th. That's our 1-year anniversary from the start of our show last year. We want to let you enjoy a break, and I need to enjoy a break, but we'll be back full time with our Quote of the Day episodes and our weekly goal getting training, goal getting process that we want to teach you how to become better and successful. We'll be back with season 2 of Goal Getting Podcast coming up very soon. So thank you for listening. Those of you who have hung around and listened to our abbreviated versions of Quote of the Day for Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturdays, thank you for sticking around. I do appreciate it. You guys go out and make today a great day.